Hello, my name is Katelyn Lawson, and this is the damages of AI in the publishing industry for Internet of Communications Fall 2025. First, what is AI? Wikipedia defines AI, or artificial intelligence, as a capability of computational systems to perform tasks typically associated with human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, and decision making. The timeline of AI: in 1950, Alan Turing first asked, "Can machines think?" leading to the Turing test. In 1956, in a Dartmouth conference, they coined the term artificial intelligence as the official term for what computers can do for humans. In 1966, the ELIZA chatbot simulated human conversation, and in 1969, Shaky the robot was the very first environmentally navigating robot. In 1970, Deep Blue by IBM defeated the world chess champion, but from the 1980s to the 1990s, the interest and the funding in AI declined. In 2011, through the deep learning revolution, machines could now read datasets, recognize images, and synthesize speech. In 2012, the AlphaGo defeated the world champion in Game of Go. And now, in 2025, we have Agnetic AI, which is an autonomous decision-making and learning AI system that replicates human knowledge and creativity. How is AI being used in publishing? Well, some of the early uses of AI in publishing was automating repetitive tasks. AI was focusing on spell checking and grammar correction to help with the refining and the editing process. Some examples of AI's automators are Microsoft Word's Grammar Check and Grammarly. AI began to develop more into the content creation side of publishing. The natural language processing, or NLP, was able to understand and generate text resembling human writing. AI tools began to be used to generate raw data into articles from major news sources, such as the Associated Press and Reuters, saving journalists time and company money to report on other areas. Now, AI is more used in creative writing. It focuses on plot work, character dialogue, and style with apps such as Jasper and Pseudowrite, and can now create formatting, cover design, and page layout all on its own. Some of the lawsuits of AI in publishing, though there are dozens of lawsuits currently of AI being misused to theft from authors and publishing companies, a couple of big ones are the Authors Guild versus OpenAI and Microsoft. The Authors Guild, a union of authors, are currently suing OpenAI and Microsoft for the theft and upload of their novels to train their AI models to be able to generate content without being informed or without being given compensation. Newspaper publishers versus OpenAI and Microsoft. 8 US newspaper publishers are currently suing OpenAI and Microsoft for using millions of their articles to develop and train AI and ChatGPT and were not informed or given compensation either. Tanzer et al. Versus Salesforce. Salesforce secretly used thousands of copyrighted books to train XGenI models without informing or compensating any of these authors. The deeper issues of using AI in publishing. Job displacement. In the next 10 years, AI will be able to automate 25% of publishing jobs in the industry. This will reduce staffing by hundreds of thousands. Loss of creativity. Losing human-created content and publishing and replacing it with AI creates a loss of creativity, loss of personality, original content, expression, and overall the human imagination, leading to dull and lifeless content. Ethical issues. Concerns of authenticity, who the work belongs to, and whether it is right or wrong to use a machine in place of a human and profit off of it. Misinformation. AI scans everything. This includes opinions and inaccurate information. And ensuring DEI. A complete lack of diverse and original work, AI can be stereotypical and lead to misuse of information as well. Publishing companies' responses to AI. A lot of publishing companies have responded differently to the use in AI. Some are okay with the use of AI, others have full published books about AI, and some just don't involve themselves with it at all. A couple publishing companies that have spoken out about AI are Bloomsbury Publishing and Penguin Random House. Bloomsbury Publishing, as of the 7th of August 2025, Bloomsbury Publishing is exploring an AI licensing deal. This means that the company is offering authors to opt in to be able to have their written and published work be used in a bulk licensing deal to train AI, offering the authors 20% of royalties for the training products. However, Bloomsbury will be keeping 80% of royalties and will not be allowing authors to keep their work after it's submitted to AI. However, it is better than having AI steal the author's work overall. Penguin Random House. Penguin Random House believes on the proper use of AI only, founding its company on three principles about AI. One, Penguin champions human creativity. Two, we must advocate for intellectual property. And third, we will innovate responsibly. Penguin believes in using AI as a guide and not an outlet for any creative replacement at all. Copyright's response to AI. Copyright is currently developing and changing policies to cover authors from AI using publishing works to not only train the system, but to create new content. The US Congress believes AI created work may be copyrighted if a human was behind the creative process. However, it is currently case by case. The Authors Guild. The Authors Guild was founded in 1912 and is the United States' oldest and largest organization for authors. The Authors Guild provides legal assistance, insurance, and resources to over 9,000 authors in the United States. The Guild advocates for authors' contracts, free speech, and overall protection, including their copyrights. The Authors Guild values authors' complete protection and has been involved in numerous legal battles, including the misuse of authors' material to train and generate content from AI. The settlement. Currently, the largest settlement in the misuse of published materials to train AI is a collection of publishers and authors against Anthropic and their AI chatbot called Claude. The final settlement on September 7th, 2025, granted $1.5 billion through a class action lawsuit. This settlement allows Anthropic to avoid going to trial over the claim that it downloaded millions of copyrighted books without permission, stored those books, and then ultimately trained their Claude chatbot with the materials. This is one of dozens of ongoing lawsuits against the misuse of AI and copyrighted material. Companies such as Google, Meta, Microsoft, and ChatGPT's OpenAI are currently under lawsuits of their own. Now, I had the pleasure of sitting down and interviewing an indie author from the UK called Laurie Charles. I wanted to get more of a perspective on how indie authors are feeling about the use of AI because indie authors aren't backed by major companies in the event of copyright infringement. And so a lot of times their work is a lot easier to be stolen from. And not only that, they have less job security than traditionally published authors. So I sat down with Laurie and I asked her a few questions. I said, Laurie, do you believe those authors have the right to ban with the Authors Guild and sue the AI creators? And she said, yes, I think they do. We don't expect doctors to do all their work for free. We try and eliminate pirated books, movies, songs. So what makes AI any different from that? I said, I'm sure a handful of people helped create Call It Fete via editing, cover art, and even character art. How do you think any of those people would survive if their art was replaced with AI? Laurie said, they lose their livelihoods. A lot of them are small businesses that create art as a sole income or to supplement a low income job. I said, how many hours did Call It Fete take from start to finish? Are you aware that AI books can take just 12 to 24 hours throughout the whole process? How does that make you feel? Laurie said, it makes me feel ill. Call It Fete was a 3-year process, yes, with some gaps, but mostly consisted of 2 to 3 hours a day of writing, an hour a day of beta reading per beta reader, my artist spending however long making the cover. It's infinite. The fact that someone can type in a prompt and churn out a book in less than a day, it's just maddening. Now, I continued to ask Laurie Charles more on the AI side. I said, do you believe in using AI as a supplement to real art? And she said, I guess my answer for this is the same as above. Not while it steals from us and damages the world. I don't believe we can use AI as a supplement. I said, if a book has been written, edited, or published with AI, does it affect your likeliness of reading it? Laurie said, I won't pick it up. I'm not interested in it at all. I read for the human experience, and AI can't give me that. And I said, how do you feel about the AI systems uploading published work from authors to create new work? And Laurie said, I absolutely loathe this. It's equivalent to pirating, in my opinion. Authors put a lot of time, energy, and part into their soul into their stories. They deserve to be compensated. And finally, I asked Laurie, how would you feel if you were the one of the authors whose work was stolen and uploaded to AI software for creative generation? And Laurie said, it would be akin to someone breaking into my house and stealing a treasured possession. One of the things that stuck out to me the most about my conversation with Laurie was this. AI removes the human aspect of creating, the feeling, the emotion. It doesn't know pain or joy or love, and doesn't know how to reflect them in whatever it creates. Now, I sat down and I read an AI written book called Golly. I wanted to get more of an insight on how these AI books can be written in 12 to 24 hours and if they come out correct. Culturally rated Golly, an AI created book by Juka Alho, and the use of GPT-3 in 2021 as the #1 AI created book series so far. Golly, with the use of GPT-3, was created and ready to publish in just 24 hours. The second book, Golly 2, created in 2023 using the AI took Midjourney, was created by Juka Alho in just 12 hours, highlighting the speed in which AI has developed in just 2 short years. So what is Golly? Golly is a collection of poems that focus on humanity and personal experiences created by AI. Juka states in the foreword that Golly's prompts were selected by Juka, focusing on the need to be happy, the need to be loved, and the need to make a difference. AI took Juka's foundation and used the bold parts of the prompts to create something new. The public describes Golly as amusing, amazing, terrifying, funny, inventive, witty, sensitive, and many other things. Here's my take on Golly. Comparing this AI created poetry to human created poetry, one line that stuck out to me in the beginning of Golly was, "My fingers are sticky, even if I don't remember eating them." Many of the poems produced in this book were simply the same word or phrase repeated many times or did not make any sense at all. There were a handful of spelling errors and no punctuation was used at all, and a lot of the times it was back and forth between bold and regular typeset. Now, in Leaves in Autumn, a poem that stuck out to me the most was, "What is privilege it is indeed, to sail beyond the stars, to melt into the night." Now, there may not be punctuation, but it is in a proper stanza. It has depth and understanding, plus the book itself is covered in human-created drawings, giving it real personality. And I imagine it took probably more than 12 to 24 hours as well. Now, how can we as individuals make a difference? First, we can educate. Some people simply do not know much about AI and cannot spot when it is being used or how. The best thing to do is educate, inform an individual or group about what AI is, how it is being used, and its negative impacts on creativity and originality. We can promote alternatives. Promote AI-free platforms like Canva or Photoshop. Or if it's a time or creativity issue, point them directly to local artists. I dropped a link of local alternatives that people can use instead of AI tools. Advocate for responsible AI use. Teach responsible AI use. Responsibility use can simply be for minor editing processes such as punctuation or grammar, or for simple research. Make sure they know that AI filters all information, whether it's true or false. Monitor what you're using. Point out what platforms are being aided by AI and which aren't. Participate in conversation. Talk about it. A lot of people form their own opinions by hearing the stories of other people's experiences. And support small creators and business owners. Supporting local artists, the community, and ultimately creativity over an automated computing system. Now, I open up the floor to any questions you may have on AI and its impacts on the publishing process. And these are my resources. Here are some more resources. Thank you for your time.